Welcome. I am so excited that you have decided to take the first step to make 2019 a meaningful year. I'm Natasha Hemingway, meaningful success coach and speaker. I help unsatisfied professional women who are trapped in a career they no longer love seek their true calling. And I know exactly what that feels like. I know that because I was there a couple of years ago. I know what it feels like to be trapped, to know that you're made for more, to know that you really want to operate in your purpose, but also to know, like, I don't really know what that is, right? Sometimes we get so caught up in doing the things that we're expected to do, or being at a place or a job or in a career just for the money. But you can have both. You can have success and you can be operating in your purpose and your calling. You can have success and be fulfilled and have joy. And that is why I coach women on how to achieve meaningful success and how to go from their career to calling. And so I want to take a couple of minutes to walk through what this planner is and how I created it. So a couple of years ago, when I went through this whole process of getting pushed out of my career and having to discover what my calling was. And it wasn't even just having to, but making a choice that I was no longer going to live stuck. I was no longer going to be operating in fear. I was no longer going to just settle. But I decided that I wanted to operate in my calling, in my purpose, and I wanted to have meaningful success. I wanted to be able to have the financial security like I did in my career. Also, I wanted it in my calling. And I think we sometimes feel like we can't have that. And what I want you to know from my experience and as to why I coach on this, that you can have it. You can have both. You don't have to sacrifice by operating in your calling and your purpose and not have financial success and not have joy and not be fulfilled. It does not have to be that way. So I thought back to where was I and what were the things that I needed to be able to achieve meaningful success and to be able to operate in my calling. And so I spent a lot of time writing down my processes and my program and creating this system that I can actually share with other people and coach them through that process, because I wish I had someone there when I was going through this. I will be honest, it took a lot of prayer, it took time, it took being dedicated, it took surrendering to the goals and the expectations of what other people had placed on me and some of the things that I had placed on myself. And so through that process, what I came up with was a formula. The formula that I've created that helps you get to meaningful success and joy so that you are operating in your purpose and in your calling. And the first part of that formula is faith. It is the first step, it is the foundation, and it is necessary. And the second piece to this formula is ambition. The third piece of this formula is balance. And I don't mean perfect balance. I mean not letting something be too far off and not letting something on the other side be too far off, but trying to balance that. So I'm not looking for perfection. I'm not talking about perfection because that's not realistic. But how do you balance your faith, your ambitions, the demands on life, when life events or things come up that throw you a curveball and that kind of rock your world and your core, and you have to shift and you have to adjust. Like, how do you balance? Because nothing is ever going to be perfect. There's never going to be the perfect time to go after your dreams, your goals, your purpose, your calling. There's never going to be a perfect time, but how do you balance those things so that you can continue to move forward? So the other piece to this equation, which you will find on the first page, and that's why this equation, this formula is so important. And it's important to walk through these steps and identify what your goals are, identify what you want, identify what's standing in your way. And that last piece of that is mindset. Mindset is critical. You have to set your mind and decide what it is you want, what is your calling, what are your goals, and what you are not willing to settle for. You have to be willing to go after those things. And your mindset has to be locked in, it has to be dialed in, and you have to constantly be working on it. It's not something that you're born with, right? A strong mindset, and that you're just fearless and you are bulletproof. That's not something you're born with. It is something that you have to work at. It is a skill, and you have to make sure that you're constantly locked in and working on these things so that when life events, or be it positive or negative, come your way, you're able to continue to move forward. So that is the formula that I've come up with. So you'll find that formula right there on page 1 because it's crucial. It's important. And so on page 2, you're going to be able to walk through the different pieces of the formula, the 4 pieces: faith, ambition, balance, and mindset. And you're going to write down what are your goals in those specific areas. Because a lot of times we don't take time to pause and to stop and think about, what are my goals in regards to faith? What are the things that I want to put in place that are non-negotiable, that I'm going to make sure that I focus on to make sure that my faith is first? You're going to walk through, what are my goals in regards to my ambitions? What is it that I want? What are the things that I dream of? So I want you to literally take off any expectations or any barriers that stops you from dreaming, right? Because a lot of times we get scared. We're like, you know what? I really want this. You'll be writing it down. And trust me, I've been there. I've been that person. And that's why I'm coaching you through it. Is you'll get to this place and you go to start writing these things down and you think, oh, that goal's too big. I don't know if I can achieve it. I don't know if I'm enough. I don't know if I'm capable of that. I don't know if I have the time to dedicate to that. I want you to remove all barriers, and I just want you to write. I want you to release, I want you to let it go, and I want you to write. Because there is science behind that. If you didn't know, I have a biology degree. It's my background. There's a science to when you take the things and the thoughts that are in your mind and you actually allow yourself to freely write them, and you put pen to paper, and then you have this visual in front of you where you've written down the things that you said you want. So I want you to write down your goals in every single specific area: faith, ambition, balance, mindset. Then you're going to move on to page 4. On page 4, this is where we're going to take a deeper dive. This is what I call the fear to faith cycle. The first step of the fear to faith cycle is the life event. It's what is that thing that's happened to you that's caused you to think about life differently. And this can be a positive or a negative. It can be you got married, it's positive. You had a baby, it's a positive. But it shifts and it changes your life. It changes the way that you go about doing things. Or if you lost a loved one, or you've lost a job, or you didn't get a promotion that you felt like you deserved and that you were ready for. Whatever that negative thing or that positive thing is, I want you to write those things down. The second part of this is fear. This is where your mind starts to get hijacked. I call it like the Jedi mind tricks that come in and they have their swords and they kind of operate ninjas, and they go in and they cut up things in your mind and they make you doubt things. They make you doubt yourself. They make you think that you're not capable or that you're not enough. I want you to literally go in and write down what those fears are that show up for you, or that have shown up for you at different points in your life, or that have shown up for you right now. Then I want you to go to the section of pause. And this is where you're going to write down, how do I take my power back? How do I take time in this moment of pause to decide what are the things that I'm going to implement to take my power back so that I am able to move forward and operate at my best? Then you're going to move on to choices. And it's, what are the new choices that I'm going to make from this new place of truth and not fear? This is so important because you have to decide what you're going to do and what you're not going to do. Because sometimes we have to be honest with ourselves and we have to say, you know what? I'm the one holding myself back. It's no one else that's telling me I can't. It's no one else that's telling me I'm not good enough, or that I'm not capable, or that I don't have time. It's all me. So you're going to decide, what new choices are you going to make from this new place of truth and not fear? And then the last part of the fear to faith cycle is, what am I going to do to take action? What are my action steps? Because I'm going to be honest with you. If you write all this stuff down and then you take no action, it was all for naught. You cannot stay where you are. And taking action doesn't have to be massive things. It doesn't mean to go from your career to calling that you quit your job. No, I'm not saying that. It means that I am going to start taking small steps, small action steps based off the plan that I've laid out for myself in this Meaningful Success Planner. And I'm going to take one step every day. Some days it might be you take 5 steps. Some days you might take a half a step. But the point is that you're taking action, because if you don't take action, you have to think to yourself, where will I be if I don't take action in the next month? How will I feel in the next month if I don't take action on these things that I've said I wanted for myself, and that I said that I'm capable of, and that I've decided that I want for my life? Where am I going to be in a month, 3 months, 6 months, a year from now? And you guys, I can relate to exactly where you are, because I was there. I had to make a decision. I had to make a decision to get unstuck. I had to make a decision to decide that I was made for more, and that I wanted more out of my life, and that I was going to go after it. I was going to activate my faith. I wasn't going to just talk about it, but I was going to be about it. And I was going to write down my goals and my ambitions. I was going to put things into place that allow me to operate from a place of balance. And I was going to work on my mindset every single day. So trust me, you never arrive where you're a master at this. It's always about being a work in progress. So I want you to know this is what this is all about. So I am so grateful, and I'm so excited that you have made the choice to step up for yourself and to make sure that you make your 2019 a meaningful year, so that you can step into your calling, so that you can go from your career to your calling. I'm so grateful. I'm honored to be able to be on this journey with you guys. I am honored to be able to serve you from this place, because I have been blessed with this gift of coaching and to be a speaker. And it is all by faith that I am here, and I am going to pay it forward over and over and over and help other people who are ready and who are willing to take the steps. So I'm so grateful that you're here. I'm so grateful that you're taking this first step. And lastly, I'll close out. If you have more questions, or you want to discuss this deeper with me on a one-to-one call, you can head over to the Work With Me page on my website, and you can fill out a form, schedule a call. I'm here to support you. That call is free, but it's for you if you're really ready to have more conversation around this. Maybe you don't even know what your purpose is, but maybe you know deep down in your spirit, in your gut, that you are made for more, and that there's a calling that you have, and there's a purpose that you have, but you just don't know what it is. It's not shaped, it's not formed. Or if you know what that is and you're ready to take action and you want a one-on-one call, you can schedule that over on the Work With Me tab. I look forward to hearing from you guys. I look forward to working with you and walking you through this planner. I can't wait to see where you're going to be in the next month and in the next year. Thanks.